Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkiest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. The Queen is off gambling. She's celebrating in Vegas, but I'm the five-star general. Tonight, we're going to talk about the George Floyd trial. Who on trial, George or Chauvin? And we're going to definitely dig into Meghan and Harry. What the hell is going on in Buckingham Palace, man? The Queen is out of line. Well, let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So we really appreciate you taking time out to hang out with us. And it's always a blessing. You're the best audience in the world. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. The Queen is off on a minute vacation in Vegas. And hopefully she don't have a relapse and gamble all her money away and Al go crazy at the highs, you know, but it is what it is, man. Make sure you share this video, and share this video. I'm gonna let Donovan handle the news tonight. I'm actually just getting off a plane in Minneapolis. I made a commitment to justice and just let folk know Third Ward, Texas is definitely represented in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I can tell you that. What's going on, Donovan?
All right, you guys. Hey, welcome to another episode of the War Zone with the Five-Star General. Happy to be here, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in because you guys can tune into a lot of stuff, but you guys decided to stay right here with us. The good thing about Demetra is the fact that she's not a gambler, so she's probably watching his incoming numbers after school and all that other stuff. But let it not be said that the general does not take care of his people. It's Women's Month. So he gave Demetra the week off to go enjoy and have some fun. So she's going to go do that. And, we don't want nobody giving us any backlash. The Queen is not here. She's working, 24/7. But in the news today, you guys have heard the stimulus bill did pass without Republican votes, which to me makes no sense because you didn't get Republican votes in the Senate. You didn't get Republican votes in the House. Why the hell did you take the $15 out of the bill? That would have helped 32 million Americans out of poverty. But yet you got people that are applauding and hooping and hollering. Even though it's an incremental $15 an hour, it's still something. I think $15 an hour is more important than having $1,400 one-time payment stimulus check, but yet we still got these Negroes out here thinking they're the smartest people in the room and they know politics when it makes no sense when you have the vote and you can't get your items passed straight through.
Exactly. Well, I think tonight let's start it off with the obvious, man. I call it the big. OJ was the biggest trial of the century. But I think now we're in the middle of the new biggest trial of the century, the Derek Chauvin trial, along with those other three officers on trial for the murder of George Floyd. At the moment, I just hopped off the plane. I'm in Minneapolis. Third Ward, Texas is in the city, man. And contrary to popular opinion, I got a skill set that some people just love. So I'm not here to just fraternize. But we will be broadcasting live every single day. I'm gonna get out there tomorrow, see, talk to the natives, man. Let them talk to y'all. So you don't want to miss these special editions that's going on. But I see the narrative that they're running the same playbook like they normally run. They're trying to put George on trial. They're trying to put his past on trial. They're trying to put the fact that he dabbled in the drugs. Who ain't dabbling in it in Minnesota? I'm here. Everybody, mama smoking something around here. You think this the Los Angeles Laker locker room and Phil Jackson was just walking around the city? Yeah, you smelling the real around here, man. So I mean, I don't feel at this point which they do that. Every single time one of us have an issue, they put us on trial. And to put George on trial with what we saw, is a total slap in the face. What you think, my friend?
You hit it the nail right on the head, because it just seems to me, just like Malcolm X said 60 something years ago, they turned the victim into the aggressor, and the aggressor into the victim. I know he didn't say it like that, but had a brain fart there. But you know what I mean? The criminal into the victim, and the victim into the criminal. And this is the same playbook. Nothing has changed in over 60 years in how they do this. What they're going to do is they're going to drag his name through the mud. He did this, he did that. If to me, it doesn't make sense to use underlying conditions. Everybody, I don't know anybody walking this earth that doesn't have an underlying condition that can lead to death. Some of you guys got eczema. You let the eczema get really, really bad, it could lead to death. There's all kinds of stuff. It's just crazy when it comes to black people that they do this. And then what's another thing that's super crazy is I don't know if you guys watched Professor Black Truth or the Black Authority. He did a study on the jurors poll, where they give you the paper and they kind of have you do it. If you look at the questions that were asked as a juror, it's slanted toward the defense, the Chauvin case. So if you're a black person and you believe that there's such thing as systematic racism, you're gone. The defense has 15 strikes that they can do versus the prosecution. And I don't really think the prosecution's whole heart is into getting justice with this, because I think the writing is already on the wall. I think that what they're going to do to save money and to save destruction and to save black rage, they are going to try to get this trial over as quickly as possible and as judiciously as possible to get the minimum damage that could happen, because I think the outcome has already been decided.
Well, I tell you what, man, the way I'm feeling about it is, I'm like you. They already know what they're gonna do. I go and pick up the rental car. They give me some clear instructions. When you bring it back, you got to park it outside the gate. What you mean, park it outside the gate? Because last time when the George stuff happened, they started stealing all our rental cars. So they've made adjustments at the rental car companies to where it is what it is. They've already put it up the barricades. You got like 1,500 National Guard in town. So I really feel sort of like Breonna Taylor. They already know what they're gonna do. They just got to make it look good. You see what I'm saying? But here's the problem. I've been here. I know the lay of the land here, and basically, I live here. As much as is what it is. You don't get this right, they gonna burn this place down, man. They gonna burn this place down. And I'm looking at people. I'm looking at people make comments and trying to figure out certain things. The judicial system is what it is, man. You already know it is what it is. If you don't think this is a game, then you don't understand the judicial system. The key is getting justice by any means necessary. And when it happened to George and people went off, these people were prepared to do anything in their power to try and make it right. You had the momentum. You let the momentum go. So now they running the playbook again. So what it boils down to is sort of like a line has been drawn in the sand. Well, we're going to do this here, and we're going to make sure we got enough people here to handle whatever going on. So you got more people here to protect Minnesota than you did to protect the Capitol. So that tells you right now the way I think it's going to go. But the problem is they're so strategic here. It ain't going to work the way you think. Man, they're going to burn this motherfucker down, man.
Hey, I apologize if there's static and feedback on the mic. Hope it's better right now. But let me ask you this, 5-star. You're the one getting a law degree. You're going to be an esquire soon enough. If you had to prosecute this case or defend, if you had to prosecute this case, how would you do it?
If I had to prosecute the case and I was going against Chauvin, right? My opening statements would be simple. George may have used fentanyl. George may have smoked marijuana. George may have even passed a fake $20 bill in that store. But none of that required a death sentence. None of that actually matters. Bottom line, if he had pre-existing conditions, they were fine until he came out the store. If he had pre-existing conditions, they were fine until your officer put his knee on his neck. He was living fine until then. He had a job, he was working, he was doing what he was doing. So bottom line is this here. Today I'm going to prove that Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. I'm going to prove that his 3 cohorts, they were a part of the murder. Your ignorance to the law is not my problem. My issue today is justice. And I am not here to defend George Floyd's character. I'm not here to defend his drug use. None of that should be on trial. We have an independent autopsy that says that it was a homicide. Now, unless you guys in the jury box are smarter than the person that did the autopsy, I think you need to follow the evidence. By the time that I am done prosecuting this case, you will find him guilty 3 or 4 times over. That's how I would do it.
Man, that's a compelling opening argument. And for those of us that do not attend our jury trials and we ignore the jury letters and stuff like that, we shouldn't do that, because this is exactly why we are being tried in court without our peers actually judging us. And when I was on jury duty, haven't been called back since, I upheld a known conviction, a lot of stuff to it. But the bottom line in the thing was, all the white people that I was on the jury with, I think I was the only black person. I was the only black person there. We all heard the same evidence, but they were concerned about what happened in the future, what's going to happen in the future. Well, if we don't convict him, he's going to kill her. Well, no, we were instructed to worry about what happened that day, not what contributed to it, what he took in and he inhaled. So you kind of, you have to be really, really careful listening to these prosecutors and these, defendants in what they're saying, because sometimes it just gets convoluted in a lot of legal speak. And I was one of the, and matter of fact, I was the only juror that held out that this young man, and yeah, he was a gang member. Yeah, he probably beat her ass. I believed all of that. All of the stuff, the facts that came out, I believed everything. The one thing I could not believe was the fact that on this day that they wanted me to talk about or think about, that he did anything at that point, because at that point it was a he say, she say. And the third person that they needed to corroborate their case was missing. They got everybody else in the neighborhood, but they couldn't get the third person that was in that apartment.
I think we all saw the same tape when it comes to George. We saw the tape. We saw what was done. The man was posing with his knee on the boy's neck. He was posing with his knee on the neck. The Asian cop made sure that nobody could intervene to stop him from posing with his knee on his neck. My issue with all of this is, to prosecute it is simple. Why don't you put Chauvin's history on pass? 18 different issues with this man. 18 violations on his record, his permanent record. Why was he even still a police officer? This wasn't his first time being complained about. He'd done it before. The bottom line is this whole system was never designed for us. I need people to understand that the judicial system was designed to protect the wealthy. Now, when I say that, I want you to understand, they ain't give a damn about poor white people either. They designed the system to protect the wealthy. Now, if I'm wrong, we in 2021, does the system protect the wealthy or not? That's what it's designed to do. A guy like George doesn't have a shot in hell.
Absolutely.
They don't have a shot in hell. They get to do whatever they want to do, and they know they'll burn up a couple of buildings and they'll be back to normal. See, y'all don't change y'all playbook either. Y'all do the same shit every time, then take your foot off their neck and then let them make it. And that's why they keep doing this shit.
You know, and that brings up a super, super big question. We have a bunch of trials that we still have to deal with. We got a bunch of issues that are still unfinished. Sandra Bland, Ahmaud Arbery, we got Breonna Taylor. All these things are unfinished business. We still got unfinished business, but it just seems like in our community, we just go on from the next tragedy to the next tragedy to the next tragedy and worried about some funky little stimulus and this and that and that and this. And it doesn't get us nowhere. So I always ask people at the end of the day, what are you going to do at the outcome of this trial? What's going to change for us at the outcome of this trial? You know, I mean, are we still going to just, oh, well, just another nigga dead? You know, it's something that we have to really address ourselves. And as everybody sees on this show, I am constantly complaining about our Black representation. Nobody's speaking out. Nobody's saying anything. The attorney general there in Minnesota, a former congressman, I mean, you know, I hope he does the best that he can do. And he doesn't want to, you know, taint the jury and all this stuff. So I know he's kind of limited. But you can't tell me there's no alderman, there's nobody out there leading protests and making sure we get justice. Damn, y'all, we ain't got a chance. We ain't got a chance with the people that we keep electing into office.
And I'm reading the comment from Robert Hicks. Let me read it. It's pretty big. Acknowledging any of this instead of having a think tank to bring Blacks to a funnel collective, I believe there is a solution. Hold on, let me put it up. I believe there's a solution to the division. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as well as the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the complete separation of the Black race, wealthy and poor, do not engage in their politics and in our own politics. Let's talk about that. Man, we can't come together because I can't trust some of you motherfuckers. I can't trust you. Not only is you going to sell out to them peoples, you going to backdoor us regardless. So how I'm supposed to come together with somebody? Let me see something. Let me get this right. You know where I stand. So is it easy to come together with me? Yeah. All we do put our heads together and figure some things out. But some of y'all out there, I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm being straight up with y'all. I'm not fucking with y'all, man. And some of you armchair quarterbacks that seem to have all the solutions, but all you do is sit on fucking Facebook. I can't work with people like that. Let's just be honest. We're our own worst enemy. We know what the solutions are, but we can't get to them. Because every time a bunch of us try to come together, it's a bunch of us that try to mess it up. We try to mess it up for whatever reason. Oh, no, you shouldn't be believing that. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Don't you, and I'm going to tell you about me. I'd work a lot of different stuff, but you always see me working by myself because I can't trust you Negroes. I can't trust you to be nothing but who you are. Donovan?
Man, I agree with Robert, you know, in what he's saying, but you know, you just gave the definition of why it doesn't work in our community. We are the only community that can't come together for everything that we try to do. And I'll give a good example. The 5-star general tries to do. He has passion for the kids. He has the knowledge of what is going on in the school system there in Houston, but yet he can't get elected. But the person that doesn't do anything doesn't get elected. The temporary, what was she, a superintendent there? I mean, the lady knew her stuff. She was the right person for the job. They don't want her there at the job because we as Black people can't come together, but the Hispanics could put their person in. They could come together. The Asians could put their stuff together. They could come together. And the thing is, unlike our civil rights parents, we are not dedicated and disciplined enough to stay the course. They shut down a bus system that was dependent on their dollars for over a year. We can't even get y'all to stop buying weaves for a couple of days, Jordans for 6 to 8 months, and make these people pay for what they're doing. But I understand what Robert's saying. This next election, when the Democrats continually fumble the ball, down ballot, we need to stop voting on the national level. We need to let them pay. But we don't do that. We're not disciplined enough. And and that's just the fact of the matter.
It's we need to come together. We hear the same song every time. The same song. You brought up Gary Monroe. I fight the school board every month. Where you Negroes at? When you gonna speak at the school board meeting? When you gonna stand up for the kids? It's like that in everything that we do. So Gary Monroe ain't the problem. It's you Negroes that ain't showing up. You know the problems exist out there, but you ain't gonna show up. Now, I see what Robert Hicks is saying, total separation. I'm willing to separate, but if we're gonna separate, we need to separate everything. Not just politics. That means you need to stop working for them. All that. Hold up a second, man. You ain't finna stop taking the masses' money. Stop complaining about the massa when you steady taking their money. You want total separation? Separate from them totally. Stop punching their clock. And it don't take a movement for that to happen. If you're a strong black man, what you waiting on? I work for myself. I ain't working for them no more. I ain't worked for them in over 20 years. So unless you're ready to do that, please sit on the arm of the sofa and keep calling plays from the sideline. When them people stop riding those buses in Montgomery, Alabama for 381 days, they didn't give a damn how it went down. Total separation. But you can't separate from them. You're not gonna do it. That means you don't work for them. That means, Robert, if you have Compton Catering and they come to your catering company, you're not serving them. You don't want their money. You don't want nothing from them. Now, how many of y'all ready to do that? If you ain't ready to do that, go punch your clock in the morning.
Right, and think about that. Now let's just speculate. What would happen if black people just totally separated and just disengaged, right? We're still citizens of the United States. If we're in a condition that the United States let us as a group just sit there and things start happening consequential, the world would take notice and say, what the hell's going on? These black folks are protesting the way they're being treated in the United States by not participating. Do you think this government's just going to sit by and just let us, build our own homes and and do the things that we're going to do so that we can survive without the world noticing it? It's going to take discipline. But see, just like Malcolm X said 60 years ago, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said 60 years ago, where you going to find a good, better house than you get here? To separate from this good white man? Where are we going to go? What we going to do? They said the same thing to the slaves on the plantation when the slaves were ready to go. They're like, leave massa? 100+ years forward, and we still got Negroes that talk like that. And it's funny that we're talking about the George Floyd thing and what we need to do. We all know what we need to do. We all know. The question is, when are we going to do it? Nobody's coming to save us. Joe Biden, a lot of y'all acted like Joe Biden, once he get elected, racism was going to stop. It isn't. They've got studies from the FBI, the CIA that says the biggest problem in America today is white supremacy, the enemy within the nation. Okay, we know this. The information's been put out there. Where are our Fruit of Islam folks in all the different neighborhoods? And I'm not talking about the Nation of Islam itself. I'm talking about in our own communities. Where are our Fruit of Islam warriors arming ourselves and getting ready to deal with this white supremacy when it comes?
I'm looking at Robert Hicks's comments. He said a think tank. Then his next comment say Marcus Garvey did it. Robert, I don't know if you get it, man. These niggas are not of Marcus Garvey, man. These Negroes don't have no Marcus Garvey in them, man. What y'all want? Good luck at doing it. And see, that's me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have the time to wait on it. I'm gonna just keep working the way that I work. I don't have the time. And I'm not gonna let nobody infiltrate the way that I think, because I actually get some things done some days. And I know I'm one person, I can't get everything done. But the little bit that I'm able to do is better than where it was yesterday. I mean, y'all go do your think tank, put all them dope smoking motherfuckers in one room, and figure it out.
You know,
I'm not just gonna work with everybody.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, my mom, my 70-year-old mother, calls me yesterday, and she goes, "Baby, I was looking at Maxine Waters' judicial, you know, her history as a congressman and a representative, her representative history. Maxine Waters won election in 1993. A whole bunch of civil rights era people won election during that time. Sheila Jackson Lee, you can name them. They all in that time." And she said, "I looked at her record and there's nothing there." I said, "Mama, what do you mean there's nothing there?" She goes, "There's no legislation." She goes, "I see things for Hispanics. I see things for Asians. I see things for Jews, but I don't see anything for her own people." I looked at my mom. Well, I was talking to her. Well, I was FaceTime and whatever. I said, "Mom, what do you think I've been talking about for the last 6 years in the time that I've been doing what I've been doing? Our Black politicians ain't shit." And a lot of people are starting to wake up, and you know, a lot of our baby boomers are starting to wake up and seeing just having a Black person at the table is not enough. What is the point of having Black politicians if they don't do shit for their own people? And so, you know, for me, that's a big win that my mom is now coming around and kind of doing some research, because here's what I say on my show, I say on this show, I say on any show that I'm on. Don't listen to what we're saying. Research what we're saying. We want you to challenge us.
You got to do the work. You got to do the work. And you know, it would be great if we could come together, but I ain't got time to fuck around, man. When I first got into education advocacy, I spent 2 years working with people and figuring out they wasn't about shit. They wasn't gonna do shit. And I think the third year we was in a church one Sunday evening. I got called to a church, and I'm telling my people, I say, look, I don't want to go work with these two people, man. They ain't gonna do shit. It took about 30 minutes of us being in that church before we were about to get in a fight. Cause I'm not playing, bro. Y'all bullshitting. Y'all fucking around here. And that's our problem. We know the solutions, but we ain't doing shit. If we keep spinning our wheels, they keep treating us the same way. Y'all don't even see that you've had several instances where Black people done got loose and them people was bowing down. Rodney King, them people bowed down, man. People couldn't handle us. George Floyd, America went off. You had them. You let the Black Lives Matter people come through and fuck your game up. Now they got all the money telling you, fuck it, ain't doing nothing for the hood. So now them people is like, fuck them too. When you got the momentum, you don't take your foot off their neck. We've had opportunities. We lose this window, it's done. It's done. So for y'all that want to get out and do what you do, go do it. I ain't looking for y'all. You know where to find me. I'm in the middle of the revolution. I'm in the revolution wherever it pop off at. If you ain't been to Cleveland, if you ain't been to Lake Charles, Lafayette, if you ain't been to Minnesota, then man, stop talking to me. Cause you ain't in this shit for real, man. You bullshitting.
Now, which brings in a great transition area right here. All of this stuff is stemmed in systematic racism here in the United States. Everybody across the globe knows there is no bigger master than the United States and its hold on white supremacy. So we have the old inbred monarchy in England, and they have a problem with the fact that this woman who's mixed, she's a mixed woman, she's a black woman, but she's a mixed woman, mulatto, whatever you want to call her. And one of the main questions that the monarchy had, according as alleged it said in the interview, was the color of their baby. This racism goes back a long, long way, y'all. Why are we surprised that this issue has come up? To me, it's no surprise why she was out of there, because her alone couldn't beat a system in a country that she's not necessarily from.
I want to answer Tanai Smith's question. I need you to sit there and listen. I know you're very opinionated, but I'm going to say some things that may rub some people the wrong way. She said, Gary, do you really think his family would have mobilized those people without Black Lives Matter? Honestly, I don't. Fuck his family. Let's just be real about it. George moved to Minnesota to get his life in order. Where was all these family members that could have helped him in the city of Houston? Now, I'm going to speak the real. I know I got to connect with my people tomorrow who George moved down here with. Aubrey Rhodes, off the corner of Calumet and Live Oak, where I come from. Why did he have to leave to get himself in order? These people ain't mobilized no motherfucking body. These people didn't give a fuck about that dude like that, man. But they all capitalizing off it. I don't give a fuck if they get mad. I'm tired of people using this boy's memory. You done made millions and millions of dollars off this shit. But let's just keep it 100, man. Steven Jackson, great basketball player out of Port Arthur, Texas. All you used to do ride around Houston in black on black BMWs with your partners. Why you couldn't put a big old tall dude like that on your security team? Since he your twin and you love him so much. On the real, ain't nobody gave a fuck about that man. That's why that man had to leave Texas, man. So them mobilizing anything, they ain't mobilize shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. You think if a judge put restrictions on a courtroom, and that was my family, saying only one of y'all can be in this courtroom? Well, if I wasn't in the courtroom, I'd be outside that motherfucking courthouse on fire. Fuck them old bullshit ass motherfucking press conferences these people doing. Let's just keep it 100, man. You had more people love George that didn't know him than the motherfuckers that did. That's just my opinion. And I stand on that 10 toes down for any one of you bitches that got something to say to me.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing. Like I said, I didn't know George Floyd. I'm not from Houston, but there's a lot of people that actually knew him and loved him. And, I ask that question too sometimes. Why do people sometimes have to leave a neighborhood or a place that they've lived all of their life just to get a better life? I mean, I know there's a lot of opportunities out there in other places, but in his particular situation, now that he's dead and on a slab, now everybody is talking about what they shoulda, coulda, woulda done. And I just think it's like, that's our problem. We're always on colored people time. And what do I mean by that? We're always coming late. We're always coming late to this man's defense. We're coming late to this man's getting him help. Why is it that we have to be the lowest, and we accept it. It's really sad that a lot of us accept it, that we have to take the lowest type paying jobs, and we're cool with that. This man could have, like you said, been on the security detail. We don't lift our people up. We don't do it. But yet we have the boule. We have these Negroes that make really good money. They went to HBCUs. You got one that's vice president of the United States right now. But yet, what legislation is she pushing? What is she doing for her people? Nothing. And it's sad. And it's sad. And it takes the grassroots people to wake people up and, and try to change the narrative. And it's so sad because now this man is dead. His daughter does not have a father. And, GoFundMes and people making money left and right off of this man's memory and name. And his family is still, who knows what's going on, with the family. Who knows what's going on with that?
I'm gonna say this here, man. I didn't really know him like that, but I tell you our connection. When you go to Jackie A. Senior High School and you bleed that crimson and gold, you ain't gotta know him. You a Yates line, and we stand up for one another, and we celebrate each other like that. And if we got a kid that ain't got no shoes, we get in our alumni page and we put a blast out. We take care of that problem. If we got a team that ain't got uniforms, we get in our alumni page. We send a blast out. We take care of that. If we got issues with our school in general, we take care of that. My purpose for coming down here is not to show anybody anything. The block I came off of, the dude that he went to stay with, is one of the youngsters that we raised on our block. You see what I'm saying? When this man say, man, we need you, man, I'm on my way, bro. Let's lock and load. Let's do what we do. And let a motherfucker know that it's some real motherfuckers from Texas down here in Minnesota, man. It's some real motherfuckers from Texas down here in Minnesota, man. And we ain't just gonna let it go down like that. But we spend all our time undermining each other. We can't stand to see us that much higher than the next motherfucker. Oh, I ain't like that. Look, I don't want to hear that. I done seen it too many times. Now, what the hell going on in Buckingham Palace? Well, it's just being exposed. Harry was not supposed to sleep with that nigga. That's what they want to tell you, but they can't come out and say it. And we don't want to accept your nigga baby. We don't want them to have nothing that's ours. Well, hold on a second. What's the problem? See, we get to trying to analyze the problem and trying to come up with a solution. Man, them people don't want to fuck with you. They don't want to fuck with Megan. They don't want that, but they definitely don't want to be embarrassed in the public. That's the biggest issue right now. They don't want to be embarrassed in the public. Let's talk about Meghan and Harry, man.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy though? You have a monarchy that is steeped in inbreeding. Okay, they marry their cousins, they fuck their sisters, all this other stuff, right? Okay, Harry will never be king unless, God forbid, everybody's killed off and he's the last one standing, right? He'll never be king. Fergie has children. Those children get certain things and protection and all this other stuff. Regardless if the black child is born and, whatever else is going on with it, it's still a part of the family. Why wouldn't this child be entitled to security and titles and like all the other children?
Because, Donovan, they don't want a nigga to wear the crown. Let's just be honest. We ain't rolling Martin unfiltered. We the war zone. We gonna keep it 100. Ain't no nigga gonna wear the crown. Megan need to get her baby. She got 2 places she can go. Take your baby. I don't know how they gonna deal with Harry though. But take your baby, Megan. You can either go to Wakanda or Zamunda. But they ain't fucking with you at Buckingham Palace.
Well, the funny thing is though, this isn't nothing new. I mean, you got the Prince Charles' brother, Andrew, who is a good friend with Jeffrey Epstein, by the way. I mean, if you look at the history of England, they had this vast empire. These royals were fucking Indians, Africans, Australians. They didn't give a damn. And I'm very sure there are kids out there that have blood to the royal lineage, to whatever that craziness is. It's just amazing that it's like, okay, this is a black woman. She's from South Central Los Angeles, Compton, wherever she's from. In that area. And Harry knew this and stuff. So it's like, what's the big surprise here? And what kills me is, do you see how quickly white people in this country ran to defend the monarchy? Just to support white supremacy. White supremacy must be held up at all times. And all you folks that think your liberal Democrat friends aren't like their parents and stuff, this will show you what's up. White supremacy is what puts Republicans and white people together at all costs. At all costs.
Well, I think Megan knew what she was getting into. I think she was ready for whatever came down the pike, because she finna live this fairy tale lifestyle. But I've really been looking at the baby. The baby looked like Prince Hakeem. I think the baby is the heir, the real heir to the throne of Zamunda. Megan, and I'm gonna just say this here, man. Man, if the people don't want you around there, man, just go on. Take your child and go on, man.
But then again, like I look at it, and like I said, I'm happy that she's living that fairy tale life. And Kiki said the Queen's grandmother was a Megan. How dare she? And what was that other one? Shaquila, I hope we're saying that right, Ramba. She says the black girl isn't supposed to get the prince, let alone give birth to his child. That is so damn true. So damn true.
Yeah, well, she's telling the truth. And we just have to accept the fact that in a lot of places we are not wanted. So that takes us all the way back to my good friend at the beginning, Robert Hicks, who was saying we need total separation. Yes, but we got to be serious about that. There are just some places they don't want us to be a part of. And why, Donovan, why do we keep forcing ourselves on people that don't want no parts of us? I guess it's good for gentrification.
Yeah, well, that's something that was taught by our parents and their parents. If you can sit at the table, you made it. That's just something, we're going to force you to let us spend our money with you. We're going to force you to let us eat at your restaurant. They're going to force you to make you sell us something. To me, looking at it as an armchair quarterback 60 years later, why the hell would I want to go into a restaurant, force my way in, and then have them serve me? They could have spit in the food. They could have poisoned the food. It's just insanity on all levels. I think it's just this hope of this democratic situation. The only people that believe in democracy are poor people. Do you guys realize that? Does anybody realize that? The only people that believe in democracy are poor people. How do I know this? Most of the rioters that tried to overthrow the United States government, a democracy they claim that they believe in, for fascism, made over 6 figures in money and were business owners and all that other stuff. White people do not believe in democracy. They believe in fascism and white supremacy. Only poor people believe in democracy and this utopian of everybody's equal and stuff like that. It's not even equal in Africa. It's not even equal over there. So it's crazy.
Racial injustice does exist everywhere, Corey Wilson. Let me expound on that point. We know the thing is if you don't like me, fuck you. That's how I feel. If you don't want me in your spot, I'm gone. I ain't finna keep fucking around with you, trying to be a part of what you got. Their shit is not even built for us. They built white supremacy. So if you want to be a part of that, you gotta be in their space. How that shit work? That's like a nigga at a Klan rally. How that shit work? Stop trying to be motherfuckers' friends that don't want you to be their friends. That's all it boils down to. Stop trying to be motherfuckers' friends that realistically don't want you to be their friends. Now hold on, man. Donovan, all white people not bad. All black people not bad. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a lot of black people I don't fuck with. I ain't got too many problems with white folk. It's you black motherfuckers. I don't fuck with a bunch of y'all. All Asians ain't bad. But we don't know who's who. You need to worry about you and get your shit in order and then try to figure them out. You feel what I'm saying? Then try to figure them out. But right now, no, man. It doesn't work like that, brother. You see what I'm saying? If they don't want to fuck with you, stop trying to force yourself on these situations. Stop letting your local politicians scream, your city is the most diverse city in the world. Your city is the most segregated. Houston is the most segregated city I ever been to. That shit straight up segregated, man. And guess what? I stay my black ass on the black side of town, Donovan.
And that's the thing. We got to see it for what it is, not for what it could be. We got to live now, not what the future is going to hold. I'm not going to be here for the future. I'm like Donald Trump. Damn the deficit. I'm not going to be here. Let somebody else deal with it. We got to live for what's happening now. And, we just have this thing. We want to live with these people, but yet every group out here shows us they don't want to work with us. They don't want to be by us. They don't want to live near us. But yet we keep trying to get them to like us. The only time they like us is when we're entertaining them. And even after the entertainment is over, they want you to go where you go, and we're going to go where we go. I mean,
I'll give you an example with the school system. We know that Elizabeth Santos is the most racist school board member up there. Latino. All right. We know that. When Davila was there, her and Sergio Lira, they rocking with Santos. You done ran off probably one of the top 3 superintendents in the country. Now Santos has to go up for re-election. And a major portion of her district is African American. How the fuck you gonna vote for that lady, man? And they finna come after your black schools. But you know what some of you black motherfuckers gonna do? You gonna get right out there and vote for her. Because you gonna believe her over me. You gonna believe her over her voting record. You gonna believe her over the fucked up comments that she made on an open mic. Because you want to believe that this is your friend. I know some good people that could be your friends since you want to be their friends. Go down to the nearest Exxon station, and when you see that motherfucker putting that cross in the back of his motherfucking truck, after he done wet it with that premium gasoline, that's your friend.
But that also goes back to, the War Zone and the Demetra K show and all these new black media that's out there that is telling the truth, but the majority of people talking about we're telling lies. But then you ask them, did you do your research? Did you do your homework? They didn't do it. They rather go with what the media tells them. The white media tells them. That's more credible than somebody around and in your community. That's how we get our news, rumors and innuendo. My mom was shocked when I was talking to her today that Maxine Waters, and we're from California. My mom's we're from Louisiana, born, but we lived in California for a long time. My mom is a big Maxine Waters. My mom supports all of her baby boomer, civil rights era people. And my mom was shocked to know that Maxine Waters thinks Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are empowering women with their song WAP. She said, what's wrong with that? I said, Mom, do you know what WAP means? No, what does it mean? And we all know what it means. My mom was shocked. She said, you're lying. Maxine didn't say that. I had to show her the video. My mom was like, what's wrong with this woman? I said, what's wrong with your generation? This is the type of stuff we're talking about. The misinformation, the stuff that
Now,
nobody talks about.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but we keep it 100. When she said, what's wrong with Maxine Waters, you know what I'd have told her? Mama, what's wrong with you? How you gonna debate me before you even go do the homework? That's what I'd have told her. See, me and my mama had that relationship. Now, I'm gonna tell her, no, you acting like them. You see what I'm saying? But keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, no, exactly. But when my mom was in the Army for 20 years, I don't want to get her upset. She'll start kicking ass. My mom kicks ass, then asks questions. But my mom was appalled by that, right? She finds out after the fact, but it's like, Mom, what have I've been telling you, and other people have been telling you over the years. Just because we're younger than you doesn't mean we don't know what we're talking about. We're saying we've been doing the same exact thing for 60 years. Y'all told us, and the black militants in the 60s, be patient. Be patient. Don't you guys think 60 years of being patient is enough? When are we supposed to get upset? When are we supposed to change the trajectory that we're headed? When a politician says that WAP is empowering to women, we need term limits, y'all. We need term limits.
Well, it might. They got some WAP up in Washington. Some old dusty ass WAP. Them motherfuckers on some different shit, man. They just in it to make money. Everything they doing right now, passing water out, passing food out, the vaccine, it's all about the money. It's all about the money, man.
And it's always been about
and our representatives that we have, which have been handpicked by them, they make sure they pay them. They take the money, and they ain't gonna never check them motherfuckers. See, it's always us in the new black media, us in the revolution, that's giving checkups. It ain't the motherfuckers that's representing us, who be lying on the campaign trail like, I'm gonna go in their office and I'm gonna say this. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Nothing. But sit your muck ass down.
But again, we have like our good friends here, like we learn from you guys as much as we try to give you guys the game. We talk about coming together. We can't even come together on these type of shows and these type of people and these type of candidates. Like I've been telling you guys, here's a candidate that knows more about the Houston school district than probably everybody sitting on that board. Why? He went through the school district. And he's up there all the time doing all this other stuff. And we can't even get people together to support our own candidate that's going to make a difference in our children's lives to change the trajectory where these kids are going. Why is it that in the black community, when there's no opportunity, well, the military is a good way to go. And then you see nothing but black and brown kids, mostly black, over there fighting, getting fucked up, maimed or whatever. Then they come back here and they can't function in society, or they go back to the same ruinous neighborhood that's even gotten worse because in the years that they were gone serving the military, there was nobody there to protect the community. So we have a candidate. We can't even get a consensus on this candidate here. We're going to keep voting the same people and even people that don't even look like us.
Well, nothing will change. Nothing will change. And as long as nothing changes, I can't work with everybody. I'm just speaking for me. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I know that for a fact. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna work with everybody. That's not gonna happen. Because when it's all said and done, I wanna do some things with myself. And I wanna help my people. But I also know that there's a lot of people that don't want no help. And it's a lot of you motherfuckers out there backdooring the people trying to help the people. But I think that we need to give consideration to the fact that you're gonna have to wake up and understand that these people are not our friends. Alan Guillory says, as long as there are men like us that are active, something will change. No, it won't. These playbooks been being ran for 60 years. Ain't nothing gonna change. It's gonna take all of us. It ain't no 2 or 3 people that can do this. It ain't no 2 or 3 people in every city that can pull this off. You see what I'm saying? When you can take your unemployment money and take your motherfucking ass to Atlanta one way. We ain't woke up, bro. We ain't woke the fuck up yet. You know, I'm something wrong with us, man. I'm looking at a stripper ain't have no legs. Man, I'm something wrong with us, man. Man, we fucked up. Did you see the video with the stripper ain't have no legs, Donovan?
Yeah, I did. I also saw that one about the girl that went to Atlanta, didn't have any money to get back. I'm like, you know, why go if you don't have the finances? I know she's trying to get a baller, but goddamn.
Who? The one with no legs?
No, the other one that got stuck and stranded and then put up a GoFundMe to get back home.
The one with no legs was gonna fuck around and get a baby. And look, see, we fucked up. And you just in Atlanta. You ain't even got a ticket to the game. But
right.
That's more important than getting us together. You just come out of a fucking freeze and you in the club in Texas? And we talking about not coming together with no people like that. I ain't got no time for that shit.
Oh man, you know, I don't mean to laugh, but Ravona, you know, the girl dressed in the U-Haul van, exactly. You know, it's just the crazy. I mean, we're the most resourceful group of people in the world. I have no doubt about that. But the foolishness that we prevail in, and another good example. Everybody's excited. The bill passed today. They're gonna get their little $1,400. Some of us ain't gonna get it because we surpassed the threshold. I'm not gonna get it. But we know about that. We don't know about our local politicians. We don't know about our school board candidates. You know, we're not concerned about that, but we can tell you everything about Coming to America too. Haven't seen it. I knew it wasn't going to be good. Sometimes when it's a classic, you leave it alone. You shouldn't be no sequels, but they can tell you everything about that. I'm on YouTube doing my usual research. All I see is Coming to America 2 reviews. They like it, they hate it, whatever. But we can't even tell who our alderman is, who our superintendent is. We can't tell you what bill, if that affects us versus this or that. All we care about is a little soundbite of $1,400. We're going to give you $1,400. That was supposed to be $2,000. And everybody's just excited about that. Don't know anything else in the bill. Do you know that most of this stimulus, a good chunk of it is going overseas to other people when you guys ain't got no jobs?
I tell you what, man, we're gonna get ready to close this thing out. We fucked up. Man, when I think, bro, you laughing. We fucked up, man. We are fucked up. Bad. We need to get it together. We need to get it together, man. Give them your closing statement and we out the building.
Well, again, you guys, look, again, you know, a great show, great friends having here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done that. The War Zone's also on YouTube if you guys didn't know. So if you're just on Facebook, you can catch us on YouTube as well. Hey, we thank you guys that have been donating to Jerry's campaign. We could ask you to continue to donate, and we're going to get our candidate, because we're going to show you guys something. There's one thing about this show that I always loved about this show, and this is Jerry's show. And this is the one thing I loved about the show. He ain't talking about it. He's about it. This is the only show where the 5-star general goes in front of the troops and gets on the front lines and fight the battles. Who the hell would not want a representative or a leader like that leading the troops out of the darkness. So you guys continue to donate, and like again, we thank you. Demetra will be back as soon as she's done in Sin City doing whatever she's doing.
Well, I want to say this here, man, that even with the campaign, you know, the real ones stepping up, the fake ones got excuses. We need phone bankers, man. If you want to do this, then hit the inbox. If you faking, man, don't waste our time, man. We plan on winning this thing in November, man. But see, that's what I'm talking about. The man done already told you. You got 9 people sitting on the school board right now. Put me in a room with them 9 and let's see who shine. I don't care who running. They ain't gonna know it like I know it. They ain't got the passion that I got. Okay, in order for us to get there, we gonna have to come together on this campaign and do what we need to do. How many of you motherfuckers faking? You talking that shit on here. But when it's time to do the class, you know where to be found. Come on, dog. You either in it or you ain't. That's all it boiled down to. You either in it or you ain't. So I'm gonna say this, man, and let's get up out of here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be broadcasting live from Minnesota, and I ain't leaving until we get justice by any means necessary. Say, man, it's a reason we the best in the business. It's the war zone. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq. The Queen will be back. She say she coming back tomorrow. We'll see. And I'm the 5-star general. Until tomorrow night, we'll holler at y'all. I'm in Minneapolis. I don't talk like a G. I walk like one. Business about to pick up, partner. Let's get to it.